Hey everyone, how's it going? It is either Randy Chavez coming at you today with a Vivi, OMI, Earth 2 update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Also, WraithX.ETH domain name. This is not financial advice. Okay, so yesterday there was a Ecomi-verse roundtable with me, Dr. Stuff, Crypto Rain, Danny the Bull, and Jordan Reese. And what we had talked about towards the end, or at some point in between, was what things would you also invest in 2023 that are either startups or that are, pre-sales. And I was like, well, I don't really have I don't know if Earth 2's Essence counts as a pre-sale, but because that's something you need land for, you need a bunch of stuff. But there's a chance that when it gets listed this year, that we're still in the bear market, we're still in recession, and it could get listed very, very low. If OMI at the time has gone up a certain, like 10x or whatever, I would have no problem selling some OMI and buying some Earth 2 token that, what we called Essence. If that happens, then, like I said, I'll buy more. If they, again, things have to happen for that to happen. But generally these Ecomiverse, these roundtables, they usually do have couple thousand people that watch them eventually. So there's some people that might do that on launch as well, just again, trying to advertise for Earth 2 a little bit. So in Earth 2, we haven't heard really too much from Shane recently over the last 5 days. He hasn't really posted any new things for Earth 2 on Twitter. However, he does happen to have a little bit of a spat with Guidebook Gaming in his Twitter replies. Guidebook Gaming just really not believing what he says about having somebody go to play that StarCraft for him. This was a few days ago when Shane said I had other obligations in Sydney, so I recommend my friend take my place. He pursued that opportunity, putting in all the hard work with the intense training, and went on to beat players like Boxer on national TV, which is really epic. Never got to experience that training regimen, but he told me it was super challenging and pretty relentless. Haven't played for 15 years, but would still love watching games and getting excited. Yada, yada, yada. Pretty much Guidebook Gaming just didn't believe him. Which I thought was really interesting. They used to be so pro Earth 2, and for whatever reason they dipped out. Which is I think they might be a little salty because they dipped out right before all the really fun, amazing things started happening with Earth 2. But either way, they're lost. But speaking of the Ecomiverse roundtable yesterday, we were all asked again what our price predictions would be for the end of the year. I guess we do this every couple of weeks. Danny the Bull said about 0.002 to 0.004. I did not give my base case in this. I just gave, bull case, and then I gave, bear case. Bear case would be around here, by the end of the year where, nothing hits, we keep getting delayed and more stuff like wire happens and it's possible. The bull case was maybe not as likely, although still very unlikely. Would have been everything hits, and in Q4 you have Disney going over their Q3 numbers saying let's say in late October, early November, late October, when Disney goes over their Q3 numbers, they say, oh yeah, by the way, this line item is saying that we bought 2% or 3% of Vivi, and now OMI is going to have utility at the parks. That would be wild, that would be insane, but it's possible that happens. I don't think that happens this year, but if it does, I think it can go up to 2 to 3 cents by the end of this year if all that happens. Crypto Rain, he didn't give a timeline on this when he answered. He didn't say I think this by 2023, but he said that, hey, listen, back when I invested in Axie Infinity and you bought land for 1 ETH, which at the time was like $100, you could go and that land, even if it wasn't the top tier land, as long as it was touching the road, even if it was common land, as long as it was touching the road on like this mystic property, it'd become for like $70,000. I was like, what? So, he said he's had other stuff go, 1,000, 2,000x, even in bear markets. He says, could OMI do that? He's like, well, probably not, but he said it's possible because when the pendulum swings, it tends to overswing. Like right now, I believe the pendulum has swung too far in one direction where I think OMI is incredibly undervalued. This is, and he says that, well, when it swings the other way, it will probably overcorrect and it will overswing. And he said, he said at some point you could probably see a 1000 or 2000x, and I was like, okay, yeah, I see that, because 1000x would just be would be 80 cents. And do I see that this year? No. Do I see that in 2025? I guess that's possible. Do I see that by the end of the decade? Absolutely. 100% in my opinion. But again, that's not financial advice. I'm just saying what Crypto Rain had been saying. So speaking of big companies buying stuff, like I just mentioned with Disney and OMI, again, that didn't happen. That's just headcanon right now. Google did buy about 2.8 million Solana at $10. Google is now the 13th largest wallet address. I thought that was really interesting. And at the same time, Coinbase fired 950 employees. I went over the other day how Silvergate Capital had axed, 40% of their employees. So it's just lots of things going every which way in the Web3 space. Ecomi just tweeted like, hey, have you heard of the OMI token portal? They've been very, very aggressive with talking about merging accounts and talking about, just talking about the OMI development roadmap in general. And I figured things would be delayed a little bit because, wire went down, and that may or may not have been an all hands on deck situation. And then you have, that one exploit we learned about yesterday, which Alex had confirmed on Spaces, basically just saying and if you go watch my last video if you not sure what I'm talking about. And Alex just said, okay, well guys, listen, there was an exploit. It was exploited by this one person, and again, this one person had he had happened to do this with comics and collectibles that did not sell out right away, that weren't really very coveted, and maybe this dude could have made like 1,500 gems, if that. But Alex did say that the account was banned and the hole was patched up, and that was it. So shout out to everyone that brought light to that, and again, that whole thing seems to be fixed. But again, when the wire thing happened, I thought, okay, we might have been delayed another couple months with things, but the Ecomi Twitter is really going out and they're hammering home that, hey, look at all of these things that we're still expecting. So they haven't said they've been delayed on anything. I still expect 1 or 2 things to come out each quarter. What do we get this quarter? I don't know. If you go and take a look, the waitlist drop system and the crypto to gem are the ones that are closest. Again, since wire went down, I don't think the crypto to gem is going to happen for quite a while. I would expect a lot of other things to happen, like maybe OMI to gem, or the OMI spot wallet has to happen before that, and then maybe OMI staking wallet. Buying OMI on the app seems to be ahead of a lot of others as well. So again, I don't think the Ecomi Twitter would be pushing this if things were delayed for like 3-6 months. In other news, we had a Marvel Secret Rare comic sell for $8K the other day, and Sergio Rodriguez went and said, for what you could buy, half a Bitcoin, someone instead chose to buy one of the most desired and significant comic books in the world, Marvel Comics #1. Somebody paid $8,000 for Marvel Comics #1 Secret Rare, only 600 editions of these, so it is extremely rare comic book. As amazing as the sale is, it's only a tiny fraction of the physical version of comics value, which sold for $2.4 million back in March of 2022. Marvel Comics #1 is the first ever comic book published by what was then known as Timely Comics, which was the prior name of what we know today as Marvel Comics. Safe to say that without this book, there'd be no Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man, etc. So huzzah to whoever got the Holy Grail. And part of the reason why I think that sold is because that came a couple hours after the news of somebody posting what was first on-chain. The first ever Vivi on-chain test mint is Marvel Mighty Sam Willson, which I thought was really, really interesting. If you go look at Immutable, that the first item minted for the start of mass minting progress is MC1 Secret Rare. So that's probably why. That's probably why you saw that a little bit. The Sam Willson, I don't think anyone really went and bought a whole bunch because that was the first one as a test. But the first one of the mass producing was the MC1 Secret Rare. Todd is the first drop in Vivi, no doubt, but on-chain data, MC1 Secret Rare is technically the first. Also, that same person that bought that Secret Rare did wind up buying a whole bunch of other Marvel Comics, a bunch of other covers as well. Moving on to collector stuff, we do have Clever Jerk posting a couple of photos in the last 24 hours. One was the Hitch and a Ride, the All Aboard, and a Close Call. That was the most recent Mickey Mouse drop that we have all number 123, and he quotes, "Update, Secret Rare 123 has been acquired, matching set complete, our journey continues." Matching sets are incredibly hard to do. There's so few of them out there. I don't think I have any. I might have one or two. But it's not for big things like this. It's not for anything huge like that. And Clever Drake also had a photo that was just posted, and it was bananas. It has a bunch of the Namors, 111, 222, all the way through 777. I don't know if he has number 888 or 999. I don't know if I've seen those, but again, all of these, I would put special mints like 111, 222, 123, 888. I would put those in the same categories as sub 100s. I would put them in that same category where I think they should get around what the floor of the sub 100s are. But again, because sub 100s have 59 of them and number 888, there's only one of them, all it takes is a couple people for that price to really, really go up. And speaking of Marvel Mighties, here's a couple of things that I think we'll also get in the Marvel Mighties. I think you'll have Marvel Mighties for Ant-Man, Quantumania. I think you might have Mighties for Marvel Secret Invasion, which will be on Disney+. Probably have Marvel Mighties for Guardians of the Galaxy later this year. And even Echo. Echo would be really great because you are going to have Jessica Jones in there, Kingpin, Daredevil. You are going to have a bunch of really cool things for Echo. And let's not forget Loki Season 2. We have that. And then we also have The Marvels, which will be later this year. So out of those 6, I would say Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy, we should have Marvel Mighties for. But even if we don't, these are things that will probably come into the Vivi point at some point. And we do have Blade in November, so that'll be really cool as well. We have Ironheart series that is going to come out later this year as well. So there's so many other things, and that's just for this year. Again, we're only in January, though. For those of you that remember, I called this the other day. Microsoft is about to acquire a 49% stake worth $10 billion in ChatGPT, owner of OpenAI. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Already 12-minute video. This is one of the great technologies of this millennia. You have blockchain, you have internet, and then you have AI. This is going to be worth multiple trillions of dollars. This is they're going to disrupt Google. That's going to be insane. So if you take a look at Vala Afshar, who has about 970,000 followers, he is the chief digital evangelist at Salesforce. And why does that matter? Is because he said the future of smart glasses powered by augmented reality is almost here. Apple is going to have a lot of competition. And then Ecomi retweeted that saying, will we see consumer-ready AR glasses this year? Dr. Profit says yes. Also, another thing for Ecomi, they had tweeted Bitmart Exchange has scheduled maintenance taking place from 2 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. on January 11th. UTC deposits and withdrawals will be paused until complete. Why you have your stuff on exchanges still, I do not know. Please get your stuff off exchanges. Trust wallets, ledgers, whatever you need. Take your pick. I do not trust exchanges. This morning, when Vivi was talking about the first appearance of Mr. Sinister, Jeremy Padower said that much love to the Vivi community. As right now, about 3,000 of them were sold, so that is a nice 20K for Vivi, just off the top. Well, guys, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Goodbye.